After years of trying to get Luis Robert Jr. in the trade, it finally comes to fruition for the New York Mets, trading Luis Angel Acuna and Truman Pauly for Luis Robert Jr. So the Mets, they're going to take on the full $20 million left on the deal, and he's got a club option for next season is Robert Jr. And Robert Jr., in terms of fantasy baseball, I think this is going to bump his value up. Now he goes to a lineup where there's actually professional hitters and a lot of protection where you don't have to be the guy over there in New York. When you got guys like Juan Soto, Francisco Lindor, Bo Bichette, Jorge Polanco, Marcus Semien in this lineup. Luis Robert, he's a guy that just could go out there and play the game, and obviously he'll be more motivated instead of playing for a team like the White Sox. So last season for Robert, only over 100 games, 14 home runs, 53 RBIs, still at 33 stolen bases, 52 runs scored, a 223 average, and a 297 on base percentage. 2023 was the big year for Robert, where he hit 38 home runs, and now the last couple seasons, no doubt about it, he's been one of the worst starting center fielders in the game, but Robert's still one of the more elite center fielders in terms of defense in the league, and one of the better base stealers in the league. So that's going to be good, the base stealing, obviously, for fantasy owners. And I think the power numbers will go up a little bit, where it wouldn't be surprising if he hits 20, 25 home runs is Robert Jr. And the batting average could bump up a little bit, maybe in the 240s, 250s. So in terms of fantasy baseball, landing with the New York Mets, like I said, with all the good plays they have on that roster, he's someone in that 10th, 15th round range. I would take Robert as a utility hitter, a third outfielder for your fantasy team if you want to go in different directions. And now to the White Sox, he's been on the block for 2 years, like I said, is Robert Jr. And they finally get Luis Angel Acuna, who's tearing it up in winter ball. He has 10 home runs over there, even though in the bigs we haven't seen much from Acuna, where he was obviously traded to the Mets in the Max Scherzer deal a few years ago. So Acuna last season, limited time, 175 at-bats, no homers, 8 RBIs, 16 stolen bases, 30 runs scored, 234 average, 293 on base. So Acuna could play second, could play short. He played some in the minor leagues in the outfield as well. But in terms of fantasy baseball, I don't see Acuna having great value, even though definitely he's a guy that's going to get a lot of at-bats, where New York, with the trade for Semien and signing Bichette, there was no room, where he was a guy that's going to be a last man on the bench as a pinch runner or defensive replacement, or someone who was even going to start in the minors. So the Mets had a bunch of infielders, and the deal made sense for both teams. So Luis Robert finally traded to the New York Mets after we've heard rumors on and off for 2 years with the Mets interested in him. And we'll see if he can help this Met team and fantasy owners enter in the 2026 season.